Helga, why are you still using one controller? Because these motherfuckers didn't come to my doorstep. Helga, when you say motherfuckers, these are the delivery people or the controllers? Both the controllers. I don't know. I'm still having the one. I contacted my courier. This is my coffee. Say hi to my coffee. Say hi to my drink. It's quite invincible color. It's quite like water in appearance. The taste is like candy. It's one of my favorites. The brand is called Bar, I think. Bar, something like that. It's the first time that I see it in this country. So, I contacted my courier and I also contacted the provider, I suppose this is how you call them, who is obviously eBay. I bought them from eBay. I was very scared to buy anything. I was hoping to buy a product with the same price from Amazon, which was the the joint Yoshi one that I found, but then I said okay, let's drop that. So I'm gonna play with Koopa tonight. Okay, I'm gonna play with Koopa. And yep, I contacted them. eBay hasn't gotten in touch with me yet, as of yet, but the guys from, how do you zoom here? Okay, right now. World. Okay, let's play worldwide. So when I contacted my courier, yes, okay. So when I contacted the courier, I told them basically that like I was expecting my parcel today, but I had no invoice from them, and they told me that I should expect something probably this week or maybe tomorrow or something. I received only one notification on my tracking page, and that was that it is processed in the hub, so it's right now not going anywhere, I suppose. I don't know what that stands for either. I don't have like the notification that it's coming or anything. But anyways, I hope that at least in the day of my birthday or maybe another day, like I don't know, like the next day after my birthday or anything, they will come. At least I can play with only one. No, I can play with only one, but it's quite difficult for me. I know that many people are doing it, but I struggle, honestly. So, without further ado, hi there, hi everybody, welcome back to my TV show, I suppose. Hi Ze, hi mom, hi everybody, hi my dad, my dad's laughing, hi Zeus. We salute the devil in this channel. We are open, we are democratic Greeks, we celebrate everybody. Do they wanna be deceivers? Do they wanna be false prophets? Do they wanna be anything? We my father says we how do you translate that? Help me out. How do you translate this word in English? Affirm, he says. Okay, affirm. So Helga, when you say he said it, I asked him to tell me the word and he said affirm. Yeah, we affirm everybody here. So if somebody wants to be around and they are, for example, the devil, hi devil, if you are a false prophet and you wanna hear me roasting your teachings, stay here. Hi, hope you have a good staying, hope you learned something and you drop your false prophecies. As I always say, my father is laughing. As I always say on this channel, we love false nails here, We love false eyelashes. Yes, you can glue some eyelashes when you are a woman. We love false hair extensions. We love false lips. When you do lip injections, that's false lips. That's not your lips. You get what I mean? We like I don't know. Do we like fake brands like a bag pretending to be Louis Vuitton but it's not? I'm not quite sure about that, but I think I would do that if I had a bag. I would say, hi, this is Louis Vuitton. I think actually I would be guilty. My father says you would be guilty of such a false prophecy. I say yes, 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 dad. My father says shame on you. He's joking, he's joking. Because you maybe think like, is he serious? No, he's joking that I say funny stuff. He's joking with me. That's quite a Greek style, okay? So, if you are a false prophet, we like all this stuff: false nails, false hair, false eyelashes, false eyebrows. I know that you can do extensions in your eyebrows as well. We love all this type of crap. We don't love false prophecies. We don't love false prophecies. We don't love false deities. We want truth. We want just the truth here, okay? That's all. So, bestie, we had watched watch a video. Okay, I finished last. How did this happen? I'm not understanding you, bestie. It's okay. Koopa, run. We are dying, Koopa. Run. You idiot. So, take all the coins. Do you have anything down here? Okay. So, I am a very serious theologian. If you haven't been on my channel, I am a very serious theologian. I graduated by a circus of a theology school. Its name is the University of Stirling. I don't mind telling the name. Circus. Like, I thought I was gonna become a theologian. They were training me to become a juggler or a clown. I refused, like it is the mark of the beast. My father is laughing. So, no, I didn't do that, to be honest. But to be fair, okay, 12, that's something, that's going something. I am a very good theologian myself. I'm a very good theologian myself. I'm actually top of the top. I think I'm very beautiful as well. I think I am the best person on the planet. I think every person on this planet would wanna marry me, man, woman, non-binary, everybody, transgender. If you wanna marry me, make a queue and give your names. I am willing to fill the report and say I'm gonna marry you. But only one person, unfortunately. The legislation doesn't allow for multiple marriages at the same time. You get what I mean? Except if you die and I replace you with another person. Hega, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know either. Trust me. The games that this stage has, like this one that I selected, is horrible. Like, I think somebody is hating me on this game. So, anyways, um, once we finish this, I'm gonna put the video that we were watching yesterday. We were watching a preacher, sorry, a preacher who was saying on his video, his name is Allen Parr. He was telling us that the background story of Satan, and I was explaining what he got well, what he got wrong, in contrast with other people that we have encountered on this planet Earth and on this channel. Allen Parr is quite one of the best ones yet. Like, his teachings are not exactly what the Bible says, like word for word, but they are what the Bible says in a very 80% of out of 100%. That makes sense. So that's good for him, I suppose. Um, so okay, we're playing this. Okay, I will do that afterwards. Sorry. I can't find my... Okay, I see him. Okay, I see him. Hopefully I won't fall. Please don't fall, asshole. Fuck you. Okay, let's find the video now. And we will finish with this, as I said. We'll finish with this. Can't find the fucking video, fuck my life. Don't start, please don't start. Don't. Please. No. Ah. Okay, I found it, so I'm gonna put it. Okay. I'm trying to find, I'm trying to put, okay. Fuck my life. Fuck you. Fuck, I am 17th, what the heck? Fuck my life. I'm 7th, okay. Henry the 7th. So we were discussing about his position. Fuck my life. These advertisements all the time. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's a live video.
And we get the description of exactly how Satan fell.
If we heard this part, because I don't remember and I can't see because I'm playing, I'm not gonna comment anything. I will start commenting when we start hearing him saying shit that comes like how's that called? Like we haven't discussed yet. Like shit we haven't discussed yet. I'm gonna discuss only this shit. The other part I'm not gonna say them again obviously. But like I have done thoroughly analysis of what he has said so far. He is quite better as a teacher than the other guys, that's for sure. He's done a better job. Fuck my life. I'm giving him so far like 7.5 out of 10. I'll give him. He says some doctrines about God that are quite damaging. That's why I'm not willing to give him 8. I would give him 8 if he didn't say, basically, if you ask me, that Satan was perfect but we weren't created perfect. If he hadn't said that, I would have given him 8. But he said this and I can't give him 8 because of that, okay? So.
From heaven, and what exactly was the iniquity that was found in him. And as we read this, this is what theologians refer to as the 5 I wills. 5 times in this
yeah, we
passage,
have to discuss
will,
this.
number 3, also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. Number 4, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. And number 5, this is the one that got him in trouble. I will be like the Most High.
Yeah, we discussed that.
Lucifer's primary problem was pride. He was not content with the position. He was not content with his perfection. He wanted something more. He actually wanted to usurp the very throne of God. And for that reason, the Bible says this, yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. You see, Satan's pride ultimately led to his destruction, but unfortunately, he was not alone. Because the third thing we're going to look at is Satan's persuasion. Let's read about the third passage of Scripture that talks about Satan's fall, and that is in Revelation chapter 12. Notice John says here, "Then I witnessed in heaven another..."
I had a problem with my controller and I couldn't use the controller for some pathetic reason, like it's stuck. I don't know. Maybe it's time to replace both, that's what I mean.
Significant event. I saw a large red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, with 7 crowns on his heads. His tail swept away 1/3 of the stars in the sky. There's that phrase again, stars, referring to angels. And he threw them down to earth. So what many theologians believe here is
The stars that he says there, it's not angels. Where am I? Okay, I found me. It's not the angels, it's the stars. Yes, it can refer also to, like, how did you call that? Fuck. Oh, I won! Fuck, I won! The first time that I won this. Okay, I took a picture. Oh, I am second! So it's, yes, it says that he threw down the stars. The stars mean stars, literally. It's the language of the spirits, and it also means the angels. It also means people. Okay, it's interchangeable in the language. When it says like, how do you mean it took stars down? It's when it says that the stars will burn. It says like later. Doesn't it say that the stars will burn, the sun will not give light, and people say this is what science says? No, it's not what science says. This is language from the spirits. This is how they speak. That's their code. You don't have to give it anything more than what you hear. It just says that the sky fell down. The sky fell down. Can you understand it like I say it? The stars fell down, the sky fell down. So like there was a fall, there was something bad that happened in the sky. Like in Greece, when we say, for example, it's raining, the legs of a chair. We have a problem with chairs, I suppose, in Greece, and zoos and chairs. My father is laughing. We say βρέχει καρεκλοπόδαρα, so the legs of chairs fell down from the sky. Or we say να πέσει ο ουρανός να μας κάψει, ή φωτιά από τον ουρανό να μας κάψει. So that is, the sky will fall down and will burn us, or there will fall, fire will fall down from the sky to burn us. Okay, from God, obviously. And also we have black sky, μαύρος ουρανός, I have heard as well. I'm trying to remember. It's been fucking 8 years since I was in Greece last time. And I can't say I remember my shit anymore. I'm trying. Besties, I'm trying. I'm trying to be a good Greek girl. But yeah, that's what you say. So it's like I suppose Greeks have the same coded words, like a metaphor pretty much, I suppose, kind of, like the spirits have, probably, like, because our father is obviously God and he is a spirit himself. we have his language in our DNA pretty much, I suppose. Like I always saw the language not as something that we build to communicate, but rather as something given by God to humanity. So yeah, this is the meaning of what it says. Like it doesn't say exactly like angels fell with him. Yes, it says partly that, but it also means stars because my father later says this, but don't see it like the stars will burn indeed, like science says. No, it's a language. Here it has a language. That's what I'm trying to teach. Okay. Fuck my life. So that's how I would call it to you, so you understand me. Um, it's a language, and treat it as a language. If you're confused, that this is how the spirits say there was something bad that happened on heaven, and then you have again there was silence that happened in heaven, and that's their way to say nobody was heard in heaven, pretty much. 13th, fuck my life. It was very difficult for me because I'm playing only with one controller. It's quite difficult, but it's okay. So that's what it says. Hope this clarifies. It's like a language. You have to treat it like a language pretty much. Okay, let's fix this. Treat it like a language, and like as if it says it's raining cats and dogs, as they say in English. Like treat it like that. It doesn't say anything else. And if you're like Helga, you just said it also means angels and humans. Yes, but it is a language. Don't hear it and start making doctrines upon doctrines about it. It's just a sentence by a spirit, the Spirit of God, particularly speaking, the Holy Spirit. It's not something to make doctrines on and theology. It's just how they talk. It's just their way to say it was raining cats and dogs, pretty much as we say in our languages. That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay.
Theologians believe here is that this is referring to the fact that when Satan fell from heaven, or Lucifer fell from heaven and became Satan, I'm using the words interchangeably, names interchangeably, he persuaded 1/3 of the holy angels to follow in his rebellion. And hey, you might ask the question, well, how many unholy angels are there? How many demons?
It's quite unbiblical to say that, I think. My father says, why you say that? It doesn't specifically say this in the language that he convinced. Like, you portray it. My father says portrays him like democracy. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, you make it sound like Donald Trump is my dad, and you have Kamala Harris, that's the devil. And if you listen to this video, I'm not roasting either of them. I'm just using a metaphor. My father says to explain. Yes, exactly. So you have like my father, like Donald Trump, saying this is how we will do government in this United States of America, and you have Kamala Harris saying no, you will actually do this instead. And that's Satan, and you say that Kamala Harris didn't agree with Donald Trump and she made her own political party and she broke off from like Donald Trump, and she took people with her, and basically like everybody had a Twitter account. This is what I hear when you say that. Everybody had a Twitter account and they commented like this is like the day that I decided that Donald Trump is lying, I'm gonna follow the how's that called, the directions of Kamala Harris. I think she's a better leader and we're gonna follow her. And it doesn't say exactly that. Yes, it sounds like what the Bible says, but it doesn't say exactly that. That's closer to what the pagan books in Greece teach about God. Like you have, for example, Poseidon, who is a foreign deity, not exactly foreign deity. Poseidon is part of the gods of Olympus, I suppose, like the 12 gods that reside in Olympus, but because he is the god of the sea, he is not exactly in Olympus, he is in the sea, and many times he is seen collaborating with Hera, who is his sister-in-law and his sister as well. She's both. She is she's one of the daughters of Cronus, Saturn, if you want to. She she has him as a brother as she has Zeus, but she married Zeus and they became kings in heaven. Okay, and many times when Hera wants to make a point, she is collaborating with Poseidon instead, and Poseidon is helping her in her plans. For example, once that's recorded in the Iliad, Hera says to Zeus that he is mistreating her, and Zeus says to her that he remembers her when she collaborated with his brother to overthrow him, and when he figured it out, he punished her and him as well, and if they do it again, he will throw them both in Tartarus. So in many instances, even in the Odyssey, I was discussing with my mom yesterday the Odyssey, Zeus wanted to help with Athena, his daughter, Odysseus to go back to Ithaca, but Poseidon didn't want to collaborate and let Odysseus go back, so Zeus and Athena used mischief against the god of the sea, in which sea Odysseus was traveling into, like diversions in order for Odysseus to go back, because Zeus was like, yes, you have a point, you have to go home, but you have troubled my brother, I can't go between you and his will, because he's also a god. So he was using mischief in order to help Odysseus go back to Ithaca. So what you describe as like the fall of Lucifer pretty much aligns with this. It doesn't really align with the Bible, because it really portrays a god that has a political party that disagrees with him and breaks allegiance. And if you say, yes, but Zeus collaborates with Poseidon, no, I'm not saying that he does. As a matter of fact, Athena, I had said, and Poseidon had fought over who would give his name to the capital of Greece, Athens, and Athena gave the name after she fought with Poseidon over it. So we have quarrels in the Greek pantheon, in the Greek pagan pantheon. We had them. You had gods fighting with each other. I remember that Aphrodite was married with Ares, I think. I'm not quite sure with whom she was married. I think with Ares. I remember when I was a kid, I really liked them as they were depicted in the paintings. I don't remember who was her husband though, to be honest. My father says, did you like the art? Then yeah, I liked the art. I liked like the beautiful deity with like the blonde hair. Like she reminded me like of my father says Barbie. Yeah. My father is a little bit upset because he says that. What do you say? Why are you crying? Basically, I don't wanna speak about you. Let's speak about yourself. What? Why did I fail? I didn't fail. Anyways, so okay. My father says that he is upset that I had other ideas about divinity and about how things should be done, and they weren't allowing me at school to express myself. And okay, they were forcing me, he says. I just sprayed my nose, I couldn't breathe. They were just forcing me to see such idols. He says that word, idols. Yeah. But it's okay, now I am with you. So don't mind. Okay, my father says you were always with me, kiddo. That's what he says. So, yeah, and I remember she didn't want him, something like that. I don't really remember the myth, to be honest. So I think she was married to Ares, the god of war, the guy that gave my character Ares of Velarde his name Ares. He's the god of war. She, Aphrodite, she didn't want him, or she cheated in a moment of passion. My father is laughing. He says moment of passion. Like he says that's quite Greek. Oh, yeah, yeah, indeed. So in that moment, after, how many times am I gonna play this level? By the way, I don't know. Anyways, I think I played like the same levels. So yeah, as I was saying, um, Aphrodite, oops, she cheated on her husband. I think she cheated on him with Hephaestus, who is the god of like mining. How do you call that in English? He is the creator god, like he's creating metals in his mine inside the Olympus, and he's a son of Zeus, but he's quite crippled, and yeah, it's quite bad news for the community of the disabled people. And I don't know if you can call them disabled. I'm not a native. I mean about people who have a certain disability or special ability. How do you call it? They change these terms all the time, and I can't keep up with them. So these people, Hephaestus is bad news. He is quite like an ableism, pretty much like story, like Zeus. My father says why? Because Zeus is punishing him, and he's always like, you are not a pretty person, you are not, you are crippled. And even though he's his son, like he's bad news in the mythology. And I always felt sorry about him, like he was the deity that I felt sorry. Once Hera was fighting with Zeus, and Hephaestus went inside and supported his mother, and Zeus got upset about it, and he threw him down the Olympus. And I, my father says, that made you upset, sweetheart. He says yes, it made me very upset. He says because he was he says because he was like a child. Yes, father. He, because he was the child, and he was so mistreated by his father. And my father says you are also sad that he got to support his mother. The truth, Helga, he says, is the child has to be supported by the parent, not the child support the parent. That's how it works to me, he says. Yeah, I know that. Thank you for that. I know, like that's central to his theology with the crucifixion and shit. You get what I mean, right? That's how he sees things. So, yeah, let's see the video now. Oops.
Unholy angels are there? How many demons are there? Well, we don't really know the exact number. The book of Revelation chapter 5, I want to say around verse 11, talks about there are myriads of angels in heaven. There could be millions of angels, but we do get a glimpse of this because in Revelation chapter 9, verse 16, where it talks about a number of demons being released to be able to torment people and to kill people, it actually says that the number of these demons is 200 million. So my friend, if you're wondering why in the world is myriads of angels.
No, you are reading it very wrong, this one. I will show you in a moment, I suppose. Okay, sixth.
In heaven, there could be millions of angels, but we do get a glimpse of this because in Revelation chapter 9, verse 16, where it talks about a number of demons being released to be able to torment people and to kill people, it actually says that the number of these demons is 200 million. So my friend, if
Um, I don't think that's what the original says. What was the verse? I will tell you.
a number of demons being released to be able to torment people and to kill people, it actually says that the number of these
9:16. Okay. I will tell you right now what exactly it says in my Bible, the Greek one. 9, 16. Oops. Okay, I have to play. Okay. Fuck. So 16, 9, 16, okay. Okay. Και ο αριθμός των στρατευμάτων του επικού ήταν 2 μυριάδες μυριάδων. Και άκουσα τον αριθμό τους. The way that it is written in this language, 2 μυριάδες μυριάδων, yes, you can say it means 2 billion or whatever he said, yes, but the correct way I would put it, it's 2 million million. Millions of millions. It's spirit language. That's what I say. It's not a literal word. That's not how spirits talk. Like, I understand you tend to translate it into a literal number, but it's not how the spirits talk. However, that's a problem. That's a problem. They don't speak like that. They speak. Their language is not like that. Their language is fuck my life. Their language is to convey messages in another way. They don't speak like us. You have to understand that when you hear them. So it says 2 myriades myriadon. It's the same word. Yes, it makes sense in my language as a word, but the problem is not that it says 2 billion. You hear that because you are an American and your language behaves like that, but that's not what it says in this. If I had to translate it, I would say 2 millions of millions, or 2 million million, or 2 billions billions. This is how I would translate it, personally speaking, so that it shows the spiritual meaning, not the exact meaning that you say. That's what I mean.
Number of these demons is 200 million. So my friend, if you're wondering why in the world is so messed up and why you feel so tempted and why there's so much trouble and there's so much evil in our world, that's because Satan, along with his millions and millions of demons, are influencing this world. And so because of
You can't say that he is in charge of this world. He is not. And let me tell you, if people followed him precisely as he's teaching, the world would be quite better than what it is. Trust me. Because he's teaching nice stuff. He doesn't teach bad stuff. The problem is not if he's teaching good or bad stuff. The problem is that he's a liar. That's the problem of Satan. It's not his doctrines. That's what I'm trying to say all the time on this channel. The problem is that he's a liar. Like Plato, I'm gonna give you an example. Plato followed him word for word. Aristotle followed him word for word. They were two of the best mystics in the world. Did they do anything bad? No. No, they didn't. They were actually very good people. They followed the regulations of the state, pretty much like what the society wants you to do. They never harmed other people. They tried to enlighten people to the truth of God or whatever that was. They weren't like, they were like pacifists and all that type of shit. Like they weren't influenced to do bad stuff. That's what I mean. So you can't say that he is the problem that we are fucked up. No, we are the problem. We are fucked up. We are the problem. When we burn forests, for example, you can't say, okay, somebody put me to do that. No, it's you. It's you. You don't want to be in a beautiful planet. You want to destroy your planet. You like to um, bring misery to other people and burn what we call in Greece the lungs of the earth. It's not somebody else's problem. You can't blame other people for the bullshit that you are doing. Accept the consequences and uh, face the consequences of your actions. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Apart from that, even if he is in charge, he can't force us. He can only convince us to do shit. And when you say, for example, that he how did he call it? Okay, hold on. When you say, for example, that we have temptations and stuff, no, he doesn't tempt anybody. You are tempted. That's my problem. If you want to be deceived for one reason or the other, that's what I'm saying here. Your problem is that you are tempted. It's not his problem. It's like saying, they made me do it. You go to a court for a crime you did because you had a bad company who told you to do shit. I think my game made me, I did correct choices, and for some reason it told me that I did uh, wrong choices when I did correct. That's how I feel it. It's okay. It's okay. It's like you say this type of stuff, and no, it's not like that. Doesn't work like that. You killed a person, face the consequences of your actions. When Cain killed his brother Abel, he he God didn't blame Satan for that. When Adam and Eve chose to rebel against my dad, uh, God didn't spare them and say, okay, they didn't know better. No, he said they wanted to be deceived. He gave them their dues that they wanted to be deceived. So you can't say, like, he is in charge. No, he is just like the bad company, as I say, who says, okay, do bad shit, do this and do that. No, you can't say, like, a bad shit, for example, is follow me, don't follow Yahweh. That this is something that he's teaching. He wants you to follow him, not follow Yahweh. But you can't say that this is his problem if you do it. You can't say that. It's your problem if you don't wanna follow God and you wanna be an apostate. You can't go to court for something you did and say somebody else made me do it because you appear like a clown. That's what I'm saying. So no, temptation exists because people want to be tempted. They want to be deceived. King Ahab wanted to hear lies from Satan. He didn't want to hear truth from God and Micaiah, his prophet. Micah, or how you pronounce his name? Micaiah, I suppose. No, that's false.
Satan's rebellion and all of the demons that followed him, there was a place that was created that we have come to know as hell. Notice what Jesus says in Matthew chapter 25. Then the king will turn to those on the left and say, away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. Prepared for the devil and his demons. See, hell was originally created for the devil and his demons. But now those who follow Satan's rebellion will also follow him into their eternal place of destruction, which is the
Yeah, because my father that doesn't speak about hell like that. He doesn't say that. My father speaks about his righteous vengeance, his divine justice. He speaks about how holy he is. That's what he says. And he says, if you wanna pay the consequences like Satan and his angels, you're gonna do it. It's not a problem for me. Not a problem. He says, I'm gonna give you what you wanna be given. I'm gonna give it to you. That's what he says. He doesn't say though what you read that, oh, okay, he's gonna put people in a fire. No, that's pagan. That's completely pagan. That comes from paganism in Greece, from Germanic paganism as well, goddess Hel. These paganisms also believe that there are sinners who are tortured and you have them there to be purified by fire. These ideas come from pagan doctrines. My father doesn't say these things. He says that he's gonna punish iniquity. My father is a father, he's not a boss like that. When he said in the Gospel of John, I call you friends because I told you everything I have heard, why do I follow the time like that? Anyways, because I've told you everything I have heard from my father, you didn't choose me, I chose you, I appointed you to bear much fruit, the kind of fruit that it endures, he says. He says, I'm not calling you friends anymore because the slave doesn't know what the master is doing, so I call you friends because I told you everything I've heard from my dad, from my father. That's what Jesus said, okay? So what did he say? I call you friends, I don't call you slaves. Servants. Servants is the word. So, um, my father is a dad. He's not a deity in the traditional sense. The way that people see today God is quite the pagan way and understanding of seeing God. Is not the way the Bible portrays God to be. The biblical God, and that's the reason I was telling my mom yesterday, the reason that I love Old Testament so much and I prefer it to the New Testament is maybe because I was grown up to believe in Jesus. Maybe that's the reason, but like as a person who grew up in a country that teaches Christianity, my problem with the Old Testament as like seeing it a better book, personally speaking, doesn't lie to the fact that like I believe in the superiority of the two texts. No, I don't. They are the same person who wrote them. My the thing that I find original in as a Greek in the Old Testament that I don't see in the New Testament, I can see a God becoming a human and sacrificing himself for us. Like the Antigone by Sophocles teaches that you can relate with Antigone because she was a human woman and you can relate to her pain, her passion to bury her brother, to attend to his needs because she says that's the climax of the book and I love it. I didn't come into this world to hate but to love, and my father says, do you see me in Antigone? Sometimes yes, like she died for that, she was scared. I don't believe that you were scared when you died like that. I don't see it like that. I'm not saying that, but her character is quite a Christ figure in the story. Like if the story was written in a better manner, because I don't like Antigone, I think it would be a good Christian story. That's what I say. I can see a deity behaving like a human as a Greek myself, but seeing a deity in a pagan setting, like a spirit, fully spirit person, a fully God, having emotions and expressing his opinions and behaving with so much patience and mercy and I don't know, stability like Yahweh does in the Old Testament with the Hebrews, like he wanted to kill them and he hears from Moses, don't do what the gods of the nations do because they will say that you are like them. And my father repented, like not repented, like how's you calling the word? Fuck, I lost the ball. Um, my father behaved like a fuck. I'm lost. My father behaved like a human when he is spirit at this point. He's not incarnated. He repented, like not he repent. He changed his mind. How do you call that in English? Like he said he's gonna kill them and then he changed his mind because Moses talked to him and he said, okay, I'm gonna do what you said. And I found this, I don't know, I found this amazing because you can never agree with Zeus to anything. I know a version of the Odyssey, I don't know if this is exactly in Homer. Yesterday I was telling my mom that it is in Homer, but I'm not quite sure, I can't say that. But I know that this is a version, I have read it in many like modern and kids versions of the Odyssey. Athena tells Zeus, father, Odysseus fought for you in Troy. Return him now to his homeland. And Zeus says with arrogance, why should I care about a human? And Athena, instead of saying like he's your son, that's why you have to care for him, Athena says because he sacrificed to you, he respects you. That was her reasoning to support a person. My father says, my little girl, I think he's moved. He says, I am. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you don't see that in these deities. You see them quite cold. And you don't see that in the Old Testament. The Old Testament God is quite passionate and he says, I heard my people crying. I know that they suffer. I come now down to save them. And he had promised he would do that to their father Abraham. He said, you have to know your seed is gonna go to Egypt and I'm gonna save it. He had promised that to Abraham 400 years at least ago, and then he did it earlier, and then he did it. So that shows the superiority, I think. Like, I don't know, I always see the Old Testament as the most magnificent book ever written for this reason. Like, you see a mythological god, pretty much, like in the likes of Zeus and the the pagan gods, but his way of dealing with humanity is so different from the pagan gods that you see that like there is a spirit out there that behaves like a human pretty much, and like I don't know, that's amazing. Like I'm always like uh captivated by this book, and like I don't know, I don't understand why people keep saying the New Testament is better. No, 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 no. I don't see it like that. I think the New Testament is just a confirmation in my eyes of who Yahweh was in the Old Testament, not the other way around. We have this understanding. My father says the ogre of the Old Testament. Yes, exactly. We have this like understanding that God in the Old Testament was an ogre, and I don't agree with that. Why am I still third? Am I that far away back? Oh my god. It's okay, it's okay. We play for fun. We play for fun. Everybody was better than me, so maybe they know better the game. Maybe. Maybe that's the problem. So, yeah, that's what I had to say. I don't see him as an ogre, or the contrary, I think that he looks quite better than the other deities. That's what I think. In the Old Testament, that he shows a superiority, he shows a vast superiority than the other deities, to my understanding. Okay, go here. Okay, let's do something like that.
Into their eternal place of destruction, which is the lake of fire. So now that we know the backstory and how Lucifer became Satan, the question that we should ask ourselves is, what does this mean for you and I? All right, so there's a few things that I want to look at. And the first that should obviously jump out to all of us.
Hi, we're
You
missionaries
fucking
with the Church of
advertisements
Jesus
all the
Christ of
time.
Latter-day Saints. Did you just move into the area and are looking for a...
Jump out to all of us. He had the influence, yet he was not content with where God had him. And as a result, you look at Lucifer. He had everything. He had the position. He had the perfection. He had the influence. Yet he was not content with where God had him. And as a result, that led to his destruction. So there are many ways that
Fuck.
you and I can walk in pride and not walk in humility. And instead of me detailing all of them, I have a complete other video that I did several years ago on my channel where I talk about 10 very subtle signs of pride and how you can be walking in pride and not even realize it. I'm going to put the thumbnail on the screen. I'll put a card as well up here and a link in the description so you can watch that particular video. But listen, oftentimes, guys, we are walking in pride. We're thinking of ourselves more than we should. We are walking in where we're not having accountability in our lives. We're walking in a place where we don't think that we're susceptible to certain sins. We think too much of ourselves. We're flashy. We're arrogant. We talk too much about ourselves. There are all sorts of ways we can walk in pride. We need to make sure that we don't follow Satan's trap or Satan's example of
Wow, I finished. Okay, so let's finish the video.
pride so that we don't experience the same punishment. And that leads me to the second lesson, which is a lesson about punishment. You see, God opposes the proud, the Bible says, but he gives grace to those who are humble.
Okay.
And what we see is that just as Satan experienced the punishment of God, there are blessings that you and I will forfeit in our lives because we are walking in sin. We are walking in iniquity. We are walking in pride. And as a result, we're missing out on God's best for our lives. This is the reason why we have to constantly be looking at our lives and asking ourselves the question, am I walking in humility? And also making sure that we have godly accountability in our lives. And the third and final lesson we'll look at is a lesson about persuasion. Because as we saw here, that Satan's sin didn't just affect him. Unfortunately, he persuaded 1/3 of the angels to follow in his rebellion. And in the same way, you and I have the power to influence people towards holiness or unholiness. We have the power to influence people to push them closer to God or to pull them further away from God. And the question is, how are you and I using our influence to persuade people? As we examine our speech, our conduct, our behavior, what we post on social media, our sexual purity, our dating relationships, the things that we watch online, all of these different things, as we explore and take an inventory of all of these things, are we guilty of persuading other people to be further away from God, or is everything that we do contributing to pushing people towards a closer relationship with God? So I hope you found this video.
So I heard all his video. His video was okay until the 14th minute. If he had stopped the recording at that point, I would have given him a straight 7.5 out of 10. Say 7.5 out of 10. Now I can only give him pretty much a 5 out of 10. I can't give him anything better because he said that what we watch on online, what we see, all that type of crap, that influences how people will see God and Satan, and we have to be careful and we have to persuade people to follow God. All these type of things that he said are explored in Colossians chapter 2 that I spoke about on my channel, my posts the other day. This is completely false. What you watch and what you consume doesn't intervene with your spiritual life at all. Satan is not found in art. He is a mathematician. That contradicts his nature quite a lot. So I'm sorry, Allen, if you had paused the video in 14 minutes, I was gonna put you a straight 8.5 out of 10. Now you force me to put you a 5. You have only the base. What you say is very, very important. Mistake, very serious mistake. You can't say to people that Satan is heard in music and literature and movies. He's nowhere to be found in there because he's a mathematician. He's not an artist. If people are corrupting the books by my dad, that's their issue. It's not Satan's issue. He's influencing because he has an agenda, obviously, but it's not his problem. Okay, but that's another problem. So hope you liked this video so far. Hope you found it informative. I'm gonna come back to the series tomorrow. Bye Zeb, bye Mom. Hope you enjoyed as I said. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now, and you have bye from my dad as well.